TJ, should Tom Brady stay retired, big dog?
Man, I'm gonna say no. And you know this. If there's an inkling of you wanting to play, you got to get it out of you because there's no going back. You can't buy time. And so I doubt if he comes back and you start, the Niners. Yeah, it's his childhood team. They are a quarterback away. And then you say the Dolphins, and it's like the Dolphins makes 0 sense. New head coach. Oh, you're going to be playing the Patriots twice, so maybe you want to put them in their place a few more times before you get out of there. Then I think about this. Off the field business. We know how this works. Hey, Tom, come play for us. We're the Dolphins. When you retire, we'll let you buy into ownership. That conversation will take place, and we all know that's illegal, but a lot of things go on behind closed doors that are illegal that we never hear anything about. Now, if he can do that, he should come back and play. But if not, Tom Brady, you the best, bro. You're number one in every statistical category there is for quarterbacks. Nobody's going to surpass it because I don't believe we'll see a quarterback play 20 years at the level that he's playing it at. And so should he stay retired? If there's anything in you that says, I want to get out there, you got to come play, Tom, because you'll never get this back and you'll regret it in about 5 to 10 years.
What did he retire for then? What did he put us through all this for?
Us.
Some happen. I'm going to play till I'm 45. I think I can play till I'm 50. And then out the blue, I'm done.
But see, that's where I disagree. Nothing Tom Brady does is out of the blue. He's a very intentional person. His entire life is done with intent and purpose. He doesn't eat strawberries and tomatoes. What is that?
He used to. He used to eat strawberry and tomatoes.
It's in him. It's in the DNA.
I know, but I'm saying he does. All of it that's built on TB12 and his whole life and decisions and business and advertisements. Everything he does is done with intention. Now, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that he just rolled out of bed one day like, hey, I think I'm going to retire. Let's put together an announcement. I don't think so. I think he really thought about this, had real conversations with his family, had real conversations with his business partners, had real conversations about what his future is going to look like after football, and that's why he chose to walk away. Also, Tom is very intelligent. He knows the direction that the league is going in. He knows the situation that the Bucs are going in. You mentioned the Miami Dolphins. Why would he want to be a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins? Why would he want to do that? No. Why?
Why?
For what?
Well,
what is that doing for your legacy? What is that? That's the other thing. It's
his
Tom
business legacy.
Brady. Okay, but do you really want to be owning the Miami Dolphins right now? I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
Ooh.
It's Tom Brady. He's not just some guy. He's the guy of the guys of guys. So when you do something like this, it's got to be for real. What does this do for his legacy to come back? We've already mourned him. I had my moment in the car thinking of his career and got the little teary eye. I did that already. So if he comes back, when he does retire, it's like, all right, like what else do you have to prove? Nothing. At this point, unless you come back and automatically win another championship, which at this point, we're like, that's what Tom Brady does, is win championships. So he's not proving anything. He's not going to improve on his legacy by coming back. He could make it worse. You could run into a situation where we are seeing him, go off the ledge, which at this point we haven't. Last year, he had an incredible season. He was first in passing yards, first in passing touchdowns, first in 300-yard games. Walk away at the top, which is where he was. Now, if he had come back for another year, no one would have been surprised. I certainly wouldn't have. I didn't think he was going to retire, but you did. And Tom Brady is such an intentional person. I don't know how to feel about him coming back. I get what you're saying. If you feel like you have more in you, then keep playing. But then why did you retire? I didn't need the retirement. Not me, us, we, Why did you retire then?
Oh, Joy, you got me up here about to fight because, boy, Tom Brady, come on out of retirement, like I said when I first heard it. People thought, you trolling. Oh, Marcellus, you act like you always got to be a contrarian. I was like, nah, dog, you ball till you fall. And last time I checked, he hasn't fallen off. So why in the hell he gonna stop balling in front of all of us, as Joy reminded me this is for? And it's not for us, y'all. It's for Tom Brady. Like, there's two parts to your career. It's the one that's active, obviously, where you try to go out there and give production, get accomplishments, get achievements, get awards. And then there's the post-retirement, which is basically all that what you've done when you were active is now gonna be called your brand. This makes sense on both levels. You look at Tom Brady, as Joy reminded us of him being first in passing yards and touchdowns and 300-yard games last year. on top of him all time in rankings, being first in quarterback wins, passing yards, touchdowns, Super Bowls, et cetera, right? We know. So the distance between Tom Brady's greatness as an active player and him in legacy and in terms of brand is no distance. Like, he's the same dude. That's like Michael Jordan at the top, saying it's over and never coming back. Oh, he did come back. That's right. Tom Brady, come on, big dog. Come back. We're playing a child's game here. So, look, we're big kids playing a child's game. Why? Grow up right now because you made a decision. Let me remind you, Joy, right here, that you keep saying that he's very intentional. True. But intentions don't shape behavior. Incentives do. And that's what TJ was talking about. What kind of deal can we work out upstairs? What kind of deal can we work out on this field where Tom Brady can continue to be the great Tom Brady? I saw him have this conversation out loud with all of us. He told us to at least 45. And as TJ said, he just made a hard left turn on the 405. Back, center divider. We're like, what the hell are you doing? You ain't retired. And now I think he's having a different conversation internally. Sooner or later, we're all going to see it.
He has reports. What do the reports come out? Oh, maybe he can buy a piece of ownership with the Dolphins. Who puts that out? Is it the Dolphins or is it Brady's people? Yeah. Whoever it is basically saying, if it's Brady's people, if you want Brady to play for you, give him a piece of ownership when he's done. And it's the Dolphins. We're willing to give you a piece of ownership, whichever one it is. As much as we like, oh, he's the guy of all guys, he could be the first player that could really get some skin in the game when you're talking ownership. Oof. And that matters. Yes, if he can set himself up, because Brady's made great money, but when you're talking ownership of a team, that's small money compared to what he can get. And so as much, he doesn't need the money. It's the allure. It's the power that comes with it. And everybody wants that. And Tom Brady is no different. I don't see him going to the Dolphins because he's probably going to get his butt kicked. But if you can get ownership, that butt whooping might be worth it.
Don't you think you can get ownership without coming back for a butt kicking? And I'm glad that you mentioned the butt kicking, because what I wrote down was grown men, the biggest, baddest on earth. Yeah. Yeah, you're playing a kid's game, but I don't see any kids out there on that field at a lot of different positions. Yeah. So that's the other thing. You're healthy. You're good. Like, you're walking away from the game feeling good, looking good, playing good, legacy's good, everything is good. And you made the announcement. If we were talking about this speculating and he wasn't sure, that's different. Come back. But why make the announcement? Why say you're going to retire if you weren't sure about it? I just personally don't believe it. I don't think that somebody as calculated, as intelligent, as managed and precise as Tom Brady is just going to flippantly announce his retirement, the greatest player in the history of the game, in my opinion. Is just going to announce his retirement and then a couple months later be like, nah, actually, I'm going to come back and play for the Dolphins.
Well, look, he good. He put that on the hood. He good. He never used the R word. Just go back and look at it. Go back and read it. Go back and listen to it. He never used the R word. We all get into this situation. Joy, stop acting like that. Our emotional brain trying to have a conversation with our rational brain. And in the moment, the emotional brain gonna win most times. Then you just take a step back. Then you start doing your normal, mundane routine. How many times can you ride around and pick up your cleaners and pick up your clothes and go to the mall and pick up the kids? And you're like, man, I could be doing my thing still. I was still number one when I was out there playing. Now, Joy has a tremendous point. He did go through this process, and I think him reversing this retirement will make his brand look a little different. And we got to live on your brand once you're done playing. Here's the thing. Remember those gates? Remember Deflategate? Remember Spygate? All those gates? So remember his issue with Bill Belichick and their rift? We all gave Tom Brady the benefit of the doubt in those situations. But if now you rigged a situation in Tampa Bay to get out of it from Mr. Kango, who we know Bruce Arians going to keep it 100. So now all you really did was try to rejigger this situation so you can get retired to go to Miami to get ownership. We're going to start looking at that brand and start looking at all those things we gave you a benefit of the doubt a little bit different. But I think he could go to the Dolphins. I think he will go to the Dolphins. He went to Tampa Bay, which was the worst franchise in sports history, and won a Super Bowl in the first year. Why can't he do it with the Dolphins, especially if he's part owner? Coming up.